Hey, it's Tony with lidl.doodle. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to talk about notebook sizes today. I know that is not the sexiest topic, but I think it's an important one, especially as we are going into planner season with getting geared up for next year. Maybe you want to consider making some changes. I made a change mid-year this year that I'm really happy with, and I'll talk about that. Disclaimer, I am not an expert on sizes, so if I fumble, there's so many different ones and I get them confused. So I will do my best to be clear and succinct. I'm going to talk about a couple of brands, and again, I am only sharing the notebooks that I have. So if there is a size out there that you really like, cool. I don't have any A7s, etc. So anyway, let's jump in. The first one I'm going to talk about is Traveler's Notebooks. So most people are, in the planner community or are familiar with Traveler's Notebooks. And I have one of the regular size. And then I have the Passport. I will tell you that as much as I want to love this size, this long and narrow is just not my jam. I have a hard time filling up the page when I'm writing, and I'm just not happy with it. So once my inserts are filled up, I think I'm going to be done using this system because I don't vibe with the size at all. I don't take it anywhere with me because I feel like it's just kind of big, and I have been gravitating more towards smaller notebooks this year. The Passport one I do use on a daily basis. I do my tracking in here. I do a little note to myself about what we did on that day, if it was something interesting, just kind of remember, and then I track my moods. I tried to do some watercoloring in here, and it just didn't work out. It was just too crammed. And then I just have a dotted journal that I'll just jot some thoughts down from time to time. This one doesn't go anywhere with me. It just sits on my desk. The next brand is Plotter, and I have two sizes. I think they have four, maybe, I think they have 5 sizes or something now. And I have the mini, which is kind of close to the Travelers, right? Pretty close in size. And then I have the Bible, which I feel like comparatively, so this is a B6 Leuchtturm, and I feel like the Bible is pretty comparable to that. What we are finding now that we're really kind of getting into making leather covers is that an A6 is not an A6 is not an A6, and I'm going to show you some examples. So we have, if somebody orders something, for example, they want a Leuchtturm B6. I'm going to make sure I have a Leuchtturm B6 that we can wrap the cover around, because there is just a lot of variation in notebook sizes. So, when you're ordering, just keep that in mind. If it's coming, from Germany, or if it's coming from Japan, or if it's American, you might see some variation. So this is the Bible size. I would say B6 is the comparative size. I don't use this though, and it's interesting because I have gone to a B6 for my bullet journal, and I love it. I'll talk about that in a minute. So let's talk about Hobonichi. I have a cousin on order, and my Techo is downstairs. So, and it's an A6, but again, it's a Hobonichi A6. So my 5-year is also an A6, and that's a Hobonichi A6, right? So it's going to look a little bit different than, let's say, a Moleskine A6. Well, I guess that's a little bit. We just do it like that. You can see there's just a little bit of difference there. So just keeping in mind. Then you've got the Weeks, and if you know Hobonichi, you know Weeks. And again, this is kind of a tall, narrower, like the Traveler's Notebooks, but I don't I don't dislike these. They serve a certain purpose. I did try one year to like do a lot of journaling in here, do a lot of planning, use this for my calendar. I took a break from bullet journaling for like 3 months and really just tried to lean into the weeks, and it just wasn't for me. So I use this one for a daily gratitude, and then this is just an old one. I've shown it before. I just repurpose it for just messing around with ink swatches. And that's the thing I love, you know, when you abandon a notebook, it doesn't have to be wasted, right? You can find another purpose for it. I have Leustrums that I have literally gone through with X-Acto knives and cut all the remaining paper out, and I use it for scrap notes or anything that I need loose leaf paper for. So don't be afraid to change your notebook size, to try something new, because one of the things that's been kind of on my mind, and I'll probably do a video, is just what we do when we get in a journaling slump, or if like you want to journal and you've never journaled and you're intimidated by it. And I just think that picking the right notebook is really important. And so if you're finding that your A5 isn't working anymore for you, try a B6. I'm feeling like, and I've been talking to some people, like that might be the new sweet spot. So let's talk about Leustrum, okay? So I have an old bullet journal. So this is the A5, and I started bullet journaling in an A5. That was the whole reason why I learned about bullet journaling, is because I had seen one of these notebooks at the craft store and I picked it up because it was green. I didn't know anything about it, and the little Leustrum card fell out, and I Googled it, and then, I don't know, like 8 hours later, I was just like, what did I just see? And then I was just sucked in, and I watched all the boho berry videos. And anyway, so this is the A5. I have used this for 10 years, right? Every bullet journal had to be a Leustrum A5. I tried to do, I think a Moleskine, maybe. I tried once. Oh no, it was a Rhodia. Okay, so I tried a Rhodia, and I filled it up, and I was dutiful with my bullet journaling in there, but I really started to fall out of favor this year with the A5 size. I felt like it's just too big, and I didn't want to go to A6 for bullet journaling because I feel like that's too small. So I picked up a B6, and it's soft cover. And I already picked up my next one, so when I'm ready, I can jump right in, because I'm sold for bullet journaling. Really digging the B6. So if you are in a place where you kind of freestyle bullet journal like I do, and you're like, A5's kind of pushing on me a little bit, I really suggest giving the B6 a whirl. And so that's just the Leustrum that I use for bullet journaling. Now here's another notebook that I have. I've shown you this one before. It's a Midori. What the heck size is this, right? It's not a B6. It's definitely not an A5. I mean, maybe it's like an A7. I don't know. So notebook companies or companies, stationery companies, will throw this at you, right? You're going to get this adorable little notebook, and you're going to go, oh, and you guys, it probably says on jet pens the size it is, and I just didn't pay attention. And I could go back and look if I really cared, but I'm not putting a cover on this. But I just wanted to show you, like, sometimes they're just like random sizes, and well, they're probably not random, but you know what I mean. There's this, if you Google like journal size, there is this image that will come up, probably the first or second image, that is like different colors, and it's a cutout with the different names like A5, A6, etc. And I consult that quite often because I'm like, what size is this again? So anyway, you can check that out. Here is an A5 from Hobonichi. So you can see this is pretty consistent. So with this, an A5 is an A5, right? Let's talk about A6s, because that has been, besides the bullet journaling, A6s have been kind of my love language in journaling lately, pretty much for this whole year. And it really, I think because I have teased out all of my journals, and I have so many, like, this journal is for this purpose and this journal is for this purpose. I really like the versatility of like how small they are, but they're not too small. And that I can put 2 of them in a journal cover, or 3 probably. But I want to show you just quickly. So this is a Moleskine A6 and a Lamy A6, okay? Pretty comparable, right? Well, then let's bring a Hobonichi A6 to the party, and you can see there's some variation there. And there's a little bit of, like, the Lamy is a little bit taller than the Moleskine. And then if we bring in the Tomoe River, it's pretty similar to the Hobonichi, but wait, there's more. Leuchtturm comes up here and goes, here guys, here's my A6. And you can tell, like, there is a noticeable difference. So I'm like, oh, okay, A6 is not A6, is not A6. And then here is a Mnemosyne A6. It's spiral, so this kind of isn't perfectly represented, but you can kind of see. And then Estabrook, what the heck is this? I have no idea. I love this little notebook. They sent it when I bought, I can't remember, one of my pens or one of my accessories. Like, it's definitely not a B6, and it's definitely not an A6. So kind of like that Midori one. Maybe I just need to, look, I don't know, and it's not the Midori size. I could do some measuring. I could get my ruler like a grown-up and just figure it out, but I don't care that much. It's a cute notebook, and if I wanted a cover for it, I would measure and make sure that I had my measurements correct for it. And then lastly, let's talk about field notes. So this is an actual field notes, right? The brand field notes. And this is a little knockoff of a field notes. So you can see there's a bit of a difference there. And I don't know when we ordered these, if it said like field notes or if it was like pocket, what they called it. We just got these little passport, maybe they called them passport size. These little passport, oh, that's backwards. Sorry. I need to figure out how to flip that. My husband always tells me, you need to figure out how to flip that. Anyway, we found these and they were just super cute. I like the theme. There's like Dante's Hell and, Alice in Wonderland, because that's like my favorite. So anyway, that is kind of the array of notebook sizes that I am familiar with. And like I said, B6 is my jam right now, or yeah, B6 is my jam for my bullet journal, and A6 is for everything else. So it's just, keeping in mind what is going to suit your needs. I don't personally write in field notes very often, but I will always have one on hand if I'm on the go, or when I'm at school, whatever. I'm always going to have a field notes in something, just if I have an idea pop into my head. Like I did today, I was driving and I had an idea pop into my head, and I'm like, okay, obviously I can't do anything about it. So I like repeated it over and over and over in my head, and I was just like, oh, if I could get to a stoplight. But anyway, so yeah, thinking about like, what's your journal situation going to look like for the rest of this year or for 2026? What's getting in your way if you are struggling right now, if you're feeling burned out with journaling? I really want to do a video on the journal burnout, because I value journaling so deeply, and it has done some amazing things for my mental health, for just my happiness and my purpose. And I think, people are walking around and maybe being sad or struggling with stuff. And if they just could harness the impact of journaling, I think, you know, we could just be happier people. So anyway, it's just kind of my passion. But if you have questions about sizes, I'll do my best. But like I said, I'm not an expert. I just know what I know in my office and what I'm using. And like I said, if you are an A5 bullet journaler and you're getting burned out on that size, seriously, give B6 a look, because it's made me like want to bullet journal more, because I was just like flipping through pages on my A5 and trying to fill them up, and I just felt like I was, it just wasn't as meaningful. So thinking about what sizes you need. If you're going Traveler's notebooks, you know that they just have the 2 sizes. If you're going Plotter, you know they have the 5 sizes. If you're going Hobonichi, you know they've got the Techo A6, the 5-year A6, the Weeks, and then the Cousin. And the Cousin is like A5. And I'm not sure how it compares because I don't have it yet. It's on the way. But yeah, you know, ask any questions or tell me what you're thinking about your journal size lineup. What are you thinking for 2026? I'm not that I want to like wait, you know, make time go fast, but I am already kind of like percolating some different ideas for what I could do differently in the new year, and maybe some things that I'll change because I don't have a problem changing mid-year, right? Like who cares? If you want to change journals in August, go for it. August 12th. It doesn't even have to be August 1st. So there you go. There's your permission. So anyway, yeah, let me know if you have any questions. And if you still stuck around, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.